Good morning and welcome back to the Football Terrace. It is official. The deal is complete. Chelsea Football Club sign Timo Werner. It has been officially announced on the club's website. Werner has released a very short video to Chelsea fans confirming this move. We're going to delve into it into more detail, but we want to hear from you right now, Chelsea fans. Right now, how are you feeling? We told you just 2 days ago. We did a video just 2 days ago confirming how close this deal was. You know, we got shot down. Oh no, it's not close. It's not going to happen soon. Blah 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 blah. All this kind of stuff, but it has. You know, it has happened. We kind of knew that it was going to happen. We felt that it was going to happen. We'll just actually show that up on the screen for a moment. Actually, that video there it is. That was us only 2 days ago. Timo Werner deal close. Timo Werner deal close, and it is close. It's done. It's agreed to now. It's absolutely amazing. We're going to take your calls. We're going to take your reactions to this morning, but do me a big favor. Hit the like button. Please hit the share button as well. Two of the very best ways that you can support the Football Terrace. We're not taking Skype calls. Come in via the StreamYard only, please. That's the way we get you on the air today. Let's take a little look at the video, though, that's been released by Timo Werner. His little message to Chelsea fans this morning. We're going to share this up on the screen and then go here. Here's a little look.
Play at Stamford Bridge for you. See you soon. Hey Chelsea fans, I'm very happy to join Chelsea next year and play at Stamford Bridge for you. See you soon. Hey Chelsea fans, I'm very happy to join Chelsea next year and play at Stamford Bridge for you. See you soon.
There we go. The German has landed. He is there. We want to know what your feelings are. We want to know what your thoughts are on this. Also, a completely separate message, just RIP to Dame Vera Lynn, who passes away today at the age of 103 years of age. Very sad news indeed. We're going to jump into a couple of calls before we do anything else. Guess which fans are in the mud? Lincoln, bro. I don't get what that means. I don't get what that means, my friend. But there we go. There's the news, Chelsea fans. It's big news as well. Good morning to Lewis. Hope you're well. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're surviving. One of our members there. Yeah, we're not taking Skype calls. Please don't call in on Skype. What? How are you not? If you're listening to the show, don't call in on Skype. Timothy here says he is gassed. Pow. I bet you are. Just looking here at the Chelsea website, what they've... I'm sorry to get rude, but are people stupid? If I reject your call, that means don't call. If I reject the call, that means stop calling. Let me turn that down so nobody else calls in on it. This is what Chelsea have said on their website. Chelsea Football Club has reached an agreement with RB Leipzig to sign Timo Werner. That's the official word from them, of course. They go on to say a few more bits and pieces here. Let me just I've got to update something. Sorry. They say that the 24-year-old has agreed personal terms with the Blues and will remain at the German club for the rest of the Bundesliga season. He will link up with his two new teammates in July, subject to passing a medical. That's what's interesting about this. What precedent does that now set? Because he's going to miss the Champions League for his team. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. That's completely up to him whether he wants to do that or not. But it sets an interesting precedent, doesn't it, for this market? People think, no transfers will happen until all competition is finished. That theory is dead in the water. That theory is dead. And then who's next for Chelsea? Will it be Kai Havertz next who is coming in? The website goes on to say he's currently enjoying the most profitable season of his career yet, having already scored 32 goals and registered 13 assists in 43 appearances. Just so everybody knows, that gives him an over 100% ratio of goal contribution to games. That is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. It truly is. But listen, I'm going to jump into some calls now. I want to know what you're all thinking and feeling. We're going to go to TD Shifts first of all on the lines. Hello, mate. Welcome back to the channel. What do you want to say?
Hey, Terry. Can you hear me?
Perfect.
I'm just recovering, obviously, from last night. So that was such a beholder to enjoy. But on the Timo Werner thing, I think, honestly, Chelsea have just stepped up about 3 notches in terms of signing such a quality striker. Now, there's been a lot of Chelsea fans that have been saying that, oh, I'm not, we need to, Tony, sort of like Abraham's like the best thing since sliced bread, and now since Timo Werner's coming in, people are saying that he's still going to play and all this other stuff. And like where I stand on it, I think like Timo Werner is going to get most of the game time, and I think Abraham's going to come in as like a Mason Greenwood or as a substitute, or like a Rashford or a Martial, come in as like a second option. I honestly think he's not going to be playing second fiddle to Abraham if with that kind of quality. So look, he's a great player, and I think, as I said, I think Chelsea have stepped up levels, and assuming if they get the others that they're suggesting they think about getting, then I think they're going to be in business.
Yeah, and I agree. It's it's.
Did they release a money figure by any chance? Just
no,
a quick question.
No, that hasn't been released yet. Most of the time, the clubs won't release it anyway. Most of the time, these things are they're not disclosed, as it were. That's generally how these things kind of go about. But no, I agree with you in that, and I know a lot of Chelsea fans don't like hearing it. And I'm not saying it's the end of Tammy Abraham. I think that would be a little bit disrespectful towards Tammy Abraham. But there is a genuine lack of understanding from football fans when it comes to Timo Werner. He doesn't play on the left. He plays centrally and he drifts out to the left-hand side. That is going to suit Frank Lampard massively, because Frank Lampard wants that fluidity within his team. There needs to be that movement, as it were, between between the attackers, as an example. There needs to be that element, and I think that's the kind of issue that
I've had a lot of Chelsea fans saying that he's going to play on the left wing, and I'm like, I don't think it's
nonsense. I'm sorry to cut in on you, but it's nonsense. If you look, they're saying the same thing about Ziyech, because what it is.
I said it was nonsense too. I said it was nonsense too, but that's what everyone's been saying. That's why I'm just repeating what everyone's been saying. I'm just like,
no. I agree. What football fans have a tendency to do is they don't want to accept reality. So if Man United went and signed a better left-sided attacker than Rashford, I know Rashford is going to struggle to get in that team in the beginning. We're not suddenly going to bring in one of the best left-sided attackers in the world and then change that person's position to keep Rashford there. If this player is better than Rashford, as an example, if we went and signed, I'm going to throw a name out there now, a top striker in the world. If we went and signed Lewandowski.
Or Haaland or something.
Or who?
Haaland?
Well, there's debate on Haaland because he's up and coming. Let's just say we signed Lewandowski. You know that Martial is being dropped. You don't sign someone who's the best, and then you wouldn't go, we're going to play him in the hole. You play him in his best position. It's fans like to do that. What's interesting from Chelsea fans, they don't need to be upset about it. Like, Tammy will get games.
I wouldn't be upset I wouldn't be upset at all. If I was a Chelsea fan, and I would be like, right, we got one of the promising strikers in the Bundesliga. Like, I mean, I'm happy to have Abraham play second fiddle. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be mad about it at all. But
he won't play on the left next season. Daniel, I respect. Yeah, you know what? It probably happened to me now. I'm saying it. All I'm saying to you is this: when you look at him as a player, 87% of his career games he started centrally. This notion that he plays from the left is a myth because people don't understand how heat maps work. He drifts to the left and picks the ball up. That will work. Pulisic will play on that left-hand side as an example quite a bit. There are other way that you can fit him and Tammy in is if you drop, because Timo Werner can play in that hole. He can play as a support striker. He's brilliant at doing that. You can fit him and Tammy into the same side. However, that means either a Mason Mount or a Kai Havertz isn't playing, right? If people want to push the other notion that Hudson-Odoi will start on the right and Ziyech is going to play at number 10, you can't have a number 10 and a support striker in the same team. But this is what I said to Chelsea fans. It's not an attack. It's simply stating, wow, what options you now have as a team. But you don't sign a Timo Werner who has scored and created 45 goals in 32 games this season, that he isn't playing second fiddle with Tammy Abraham. Not happening. Listen, thank you for coming on, mate. Thank you for coming on, mate. We'll catch you again soon, my man. Thank you. Next up, we've got KJ back on the house. What's going on, bro?
Yo, Terry, this ain't good, you know.
Why is it not good? This is brilliant for the Premier League.
It's brilliant for the Prem, but for United, this ain't good, man. This ain't good. It's another another hurdle to come across, another hurdle to try and overcome. And I believe we can do it. But wait, man, they're making it. These teams ain't making it easy for us to get back to the top, are they?
Then, do you know what? I was on the phone this morning with Adam from the channel, and we were having a little bit of a chat about Arsenal and, you know, how long Arsenal fans will stay angry. And I said, look, you know, in 4 seasons' time, it's 2 decades since you've won a league title. It's 4 years. Sorry, 4 years until it's 2 decades. There's going to come a time in Arsenal's lifespan where fans stop becoming angry. And what I mean by that is you don't see Everton fans getting angry anymore that they're not at the top. Leeds fans, you know, Nottingham Forest and Ipswich fans that used to be winning Champions Leagues, Villa fans who used to be winning Champions Leagues, they're not annoyed anymore because it becomes normality to be where you are, as an example. And I think that it's so important. Like, Chelsea are going to do a madness this summer. United need, and this is what I've said, but I know that Chelsea didn't spend last year. United have to spend. If we fail to bring in Sancho, if we fail to improve the midfield, if we fail to improve the defense, we will get left behind because Liverpool are at the peak of their powers. They will spend next year and they can get away with it. City are going to spend big no matter what happens with this ban. Chelsea are already doing it. The Newcastle deal looks like it's going to happen, even though the media are portraying that it's not. They're going to spend big. Don't be surprised if financial fair play, by the way, gets scrapped for a couple of years. That's amazing for Newcastle. They can just go in and drop hundreds of millions of pounds on players now, and there's no recourse on that at all. It's going to be an absolute madness. We've got a Chelsea, we've got a Chelsea fan, Liam, we're going to add to this call as well. Now, Liam, welcome to the show, bro. I saw the shirt, I thought I'd get you on. What's your reaction to signing Werner today?
Mate, I'm going red. I'm so buzzing, bro. It's going to be so sick seeing this caliber of player, man. We haven't had such a sick striker since Diego Costa. We've had Shitaro Murata. He's been dreadful. This is our time to shine.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. Are you worried though about the curse? There is like a myth around the curse of the number 9 shirt at Chelsea.
No, man, I think Tammy's going to keep the number 9, so I think that they're going to... Pedro's out the door, so I think he's going to keep the number 11.
Oh, you think he'll get the 11? Yeah, well, I think he plays an 11 now, doesn't he?
Yeah, he plays 11 for Leipzig.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's the other reason why people have this mythological thought that he plays on the left-hand side of the game by his shirt number. But I swear Gallus played in the number 10 shirt. So, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and he played left back.
How do you think he's going to fit into the Chelsea team, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think with everybody saying that he's going to play on the left wing, I think that he's not a winger. I think that he's a striker. He just drifts more onto that left to create opportunities and gaps for other players to fit in behind.
Mate, I could not agree with you more. I rate the player. I think he's an excellent player. But yeah, this notion that he's going to play on the left, what you find some Chelsea fans are doing, they don't want to admit, they don't like uncomfortable truths. The fact that if you sign Kai Havertz and Werner, having already brought in Ziyech, that some of your youngsters are not going to get opportunities or as many opportunities anymore. And it's the way it is. It's just the way, like, a lot of Man United fans want to see Chong or want to see Gomez given opportunities. If we sign Kai Havertz this summer, I doubt we will with Pogba and Bruno, but if we did, when's Gomez playing? It ain't happening because there isn't enough minutes, like in terms of substantial minutes. I'm not talking, away against Brentford in the Carabao Cup. That's no disrespect. That isn't the kind of games that Hudson-Odoi, Mason Mount, Tammy need. They need first-team regular football. But if I'm a Chelsea fan, I'm not even bothered by this because you're not renowned for developing youth. It isn't part of your tapestry and history as a football club. You're about, especially in the last 20 years, you're about building big, strong, technically gifted teams and blowing away leagues. And with Ziyech, now with Timo Werner, and potentially Kai Havertz, I need to ask you this question. If you sign Kai Havertz and add that to this team, can you win the league next year?
I think we still need a left back, but if we can get that left back and Kai Havertz with all of those other players, I think that there's definitely a good possibility. I think that I don't really want Chilwell, in my opinion. I think he's too expensive, like a lot of people are saying. I would prefer somebody like Tagliafico. I think that would be mean, and he's half the price as well. So, yeah, I think that there's definitely a 100% chance that we can push for the title. But I don't know about next season. Maybe in the next season after that, then we can generally try to make some history for ourselves.
There we go. Dave's here as well. Welcome back, mate. Chelsea fan in the house. You must be ecstatic. And everyone, you know, I don't claim to know anything, but I did say 2 days ago this was really, really close. I thought him pulling out of the Champions League squad, the fact that within 12 hours of that being announced, it wasn't rejected by Leipzig. They didn't come out and say, no, that's nonsense. I was like, he's coming. And it shows his dedication to Chelsea, though. He's turning down would Leipzig win the Champions League? Probably not. But who would have said that about Porto? You know, winning it when they did. You know, so given an opportunity of playing deep into the Champions League to come to Chelsea, you must be ecstatic.
I would say yes. After yesterday was like the perfect day for a Chelsea fan. David Luiz was doing the madness. Leipzig bottled a 2-0 lead after being like bottled a 2-0 lead. And I think yesterday Werner was like, you know what, let's just go with it now. We might as well. So it's a good sign. I still think that Tammy and Abraham will play together. But if we do sign Havertz, then obviously the system's gonna have to change. I think the current system will be that those two will play together. But obviously if we sign Havertz, it's gonna have to change.
But you say Chelsea fans are saying, a lot of Chelsea fans saying, oh, now if we sign Havertz as well as these guys will be good. But I'm like, surely your defense and is a major issue in all of this as well. Why is there no talk about a centre back to go with Rudiger or a goalkeeper? I've heard left back, which is fair enough. But what about those two positions?
Oh, you've always heard me saying that Havertz is like a flash kind of guy. I've always said that we need to improve our fullback and our goalkeeper. Centre back is like we're average at centre back, but you can get by with Rudiger and Tomori or Rudiger and Christensen or something like that. You can get by with that, but Kepa can't. Kepa, I don't even want to go into. He's just so bad. He's so bad. And then left back, Emerson's good, but he's just not consistent enough. So I think those are the two key positions before we do anything else.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I mean, in terms of title push, I think maybe something at the back does need to improve, and it's depth as well. Because like I like Kurt Zouma, I think he's a cool guy, but again, he's not as bad as David Luiz, but he's a mistake waiting to happen. You know, he's erratic at times when he is playing. I think Rudiger's your best defender, and he isn't as good. Like I look at other Premier League teams, and I look at Rudiger, who I think is your best centre back, and I think to myself, does he get in City's team? City got problems there and doesn't get in their team. I think he's no better than, say, Victor Lindelof. I think he's about that level. I'm not saying he's trash. About Lindelof's level. If that's your best centre back, it's going to be difficult because Chelsea's issue this year, when you look at them, they could score a lot more, but it's the defense. Like the goals you've leaked, you're like a broken fridge. You're leaking a lot. So if you can fix that up as well, and if Chelsea have got the money, honestly, I would drop some money for a Koulibaly. You know,
I was thinking that as well.
Someone of that ilk just to come in, who's of that standard, who can come in and improve your team. It could be amazing times for you. I have to admit, I am a little jealous. I am a little jealous that you've got Timo. I can't even deny it. You know, I'm not one of these people that's going to say, oh, you know, you ain't really that. Start looking for the flaws in his game. Everyone's got flaws, but he's a top player. But listen, Liam, thank you very much for coming on, mate. We'll chat to you again soon, my man. Take care.
Good, bro. See you soon.
Yeah, buddy. See you later. Who are we going to add on to here now? We've got a few more people. We're going to add. Oh, well, we'll go with this guy on. He looks happy. Timo time. What you saying, bro?
Terry, this is a huge statement signing for Chelsea. You know, this, how do I say it? This has shades of Chelsea in 2004, where Mourinho's first season, Abramovich went, you know what? I'm going to back the manager. Got Drogba, got Petr Cech, got a left back in Wayne Bridge. He went, you know what? I'm going to back you. And he made the spine very nice. This has shades where, like, Chelsea are trying to fix the spine. We're trying to get a striker. We got, you know, Kante, Kovacic. So we don't need the midfielder. We're already stacked. Like, Ruben's coming back. We have Kante. We have Kovacic. All we need, Terry, centre back, left back, and a goalkeeper. And I think Chelsea can have a title challenge. Not win it, but a title challenge.
Yeah, I mean, do you think it's plausible to sign a centre back, a left back, and a right and a goalie of the highest caliber in the same? I mean, that would you? Let's just say you bring in Kai Havertz and Werner and Ziyech. That's 3 elite players. Has it ever been done before where 6 elite players are signed in one summer? And do you think Chelsea can do that?
That is true, Terry. Like, I kind of feel like this is not FIFA. It's not Football Manager. You can't just sign 6 players, expect them to gel, accommodate to the language, Premier League, all that quickly. We have to be realistic in a way where, like, you can't just sign 6 players and expect all of them. You know what? we're gonna win the Premier League. You know, I feel like getting a left back, goalkeeper, and centre back is gonna take time. Maybe this window, Frank strengthens the attack and a left back. Next window, he gets in a centre back and a goalkeeper, because centre back right now isn't our priority. Our priority right now is a left back and a goalkeeper. But I don't think it's plausible to get 6 players in one window. And I think Sir Alex Ferguson, he said a quote before. He said like, attack wins you games, defense wins you titles. I think Chelsea next year is going to win games like 4-3, 5-4, 3-2. You know what I mean? It's not feasible for the whole year. But yeah, it would be nice to strengthen that defensive position.
Yeah, there we go. Listen, Timo, thank you very much for coming on, mate. We'll chat to you again soon. Take care. We've added a cool guy to this, bro. I mean, you're a Tottenham fan.
Yeah.
What's your reaction to this news? Obviously, one of your worst enemies. I mean, you're probably happy after last night, and then you see this news this morning.
Yeah.
Like, Pete.
It was a great night last night for everyone else except for Arsenal, obviously. But then this morning we've had a bit of bad news. I won't go into it because I know this is about Timo Werner, but I think Lo Celso's out of Friday. And then, Timo Werner's just signed for Chelsea, which the way I see Chelsea, they're always there, even when they're not doing well, like that season where, Mourinho took them down to, where did he finish? 8th or whatever?
We finished 10th. We finished 10th. But we still finish your title challenge. So,
Yeah. Well,
wins a win. Wins a win.
Yeah, but anyway, this is the thing, yeah. This is the thing. I feel like Chelsea go in cycles, yeah. And for the rest of the Premier League, the only hope we've got this season is if you don't finish in the top 4, because it might knock your cycle back a season. Because with this signing,
I disagree. If they get Europa League next season, they'll win it. I think they're winning the Europa League.
Every year we've been in the Europa League, we've won it. Every year we've been in it, we've won it.
No, but if they get Champions League, then I think they will then challenge for the Premier League. Whereas if they get Europa League with these signings, say they get Kai Havertz as well, I think they'll just be like qualifying for the top 4 again. Whereas like you see Timo Werner, you can look back about 5 years or 6 years to about 4 years when we had that 16-17 season and we were going against you lot. We were linked with Timo Werner, but he wouldn't come because he could see Kane like blocking his progression. So Timo Werner's a player that I've followed for time, and I know that boy is class. I think that he has the potential to be better than Kane, honestly, because he's got the pace. And it's scary. It's scary. The only hope I've got is that you lot don't finish this season strongly, and then your cycle gets knocked back a season and you're challenging in 2 years instead of 1. Do you know what I mean?
Wait, hold on. If Tottenham win tomorrow, surely you'd want Tottenham to win tomorrow, correct?
Yeah, obviously.
So if Tottenham win tomorrow, then Chelsea win on the weekend. That creates a 6-point gap, which that's a pretty sizable gap for them to catch up on us.
I'm not really.
And also, depending on City's ban as well.
I'm not looking at Chelsea right now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not looking at, because we're too far behind. Like I'm looking at United and Sheffield.
No. You're looking at Wolves and Sheffield United, fam. That's what you're looking at.
Wait, what's that? If we beat you tomorrow, we're 1 point behind you. You do realise that, don't you?
Wait, listen.
You do realise that, don't you?
You know what I've got to say here as well, boys? I've just got to say this as well. This is just a little message, and I want to hear from everybody. We've got a little message that's been sent in by all the doom and gloom merchants that, one, keep telling me when it comes to transfers that deals can't be agreed outside of transfer windows. Secondly, they've sent us a message. These people have sent us a little message. We've got a little response from them too. You can't sign top players without the guarantee of Champions League football. And of course, Chelsea haven't guaranteed it, but they've made the signing. Here's their message. Just crickets. The reason I say this sort of stuff is all the time to people. I don't claim to be a transfer expert, but history tells us big clubs, gigantic clubs, and Chelsea are that now. I know people like to history. Yeah, that was funny in 2004, 2005, 2006. But the last 15 years is history, and they've created it for themselves. Chelsea can pull in big players, and they've got Werner without the guarantee of Champions League football. If Chelsea, and there is an element of signing a player now that could be dangerous for this team. It could make people think, oh, what's the point? Equally, though, it could be dangerous. Tammy might now think, I have got to play these last 10 games of the season. I have to be absolutely on point, because if I'm not on point, I could come really unstuck. Next year I could be further down the pecking order than I really want to be. It could really spur people on as an example. And I think that transfers can happen at any time. And I said this yesterday, first outlet on any platform to talk about this. In the next few days, I think we're going to see a bit of movement in the Jadon Sancho situation as well. And the biggest push on that is going to be the fact that you see how when Werner's link with Chelsea happened, RB Leipzig's form died. His form died. And that's because players' minds get turned. I've looked at the last few games from Jadon Sancho, especially the one yesterday. That team looked deflated. I know they'd already lost the league, but they looked deflated. And there's that element of, I just want to get my business concluded now. And this will be the knock-on effect. And hopefully it's Man United he goes to. There's no guarantees that Jadon will end up
Dortmund still in the Champions League though.
They got
knocked out.
PSG.
Knocked out by PSG.
That's it. I mean,
He's gonna go then, isn't he?
The Champions League, by the way. Let's have a little word about Champions League for a few minutes until we stream, right? My understanding is it's all going to be played in Germany. It's basically going to be like a mini World Cup, but at club level, isn't it? All in Germany. Chelsea is still in it because they've got the second leg, haven't you, against?
But we still have to go to Bayern, and it's still 3-0. So,
but he's still in it. Like
he's still... What are you laughing? You lost 7-2.
It's still funny. It's still funny.
I want to push this propaganda for English football, right, for a moment. Bayern Munich now don't have a meaningful game now for nearly 2 months. Chelsea, you're going to go into that talk.
No, don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this.
Propaganda FC. It could happen, bro. It could happen. You could come in and you could do it. I know.
I reckon we could score 2. I don't even regardless of what Bayern do, I don't even think we can score 3 against that team. I don't even think we can score 3. That team is just drilled.
Dave,
drilled.
Terry's trying to bait you, bro.
He's trying to bait you.
I reckon
I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy.
It's going to be 7-2 Bayern in that fixture.
Honestly, don't ever fall. You know what I do? I love doing this in this show. Some people never quite. Unofficial pundit never gets what I do. I love baiting. In fact, I baited Arsenal fans from August through to October, November, thinking their club was being run well. They were moving forward. They're much better than Man United. I did it on purpose. I sat here like my little my master plan. Like, I'm going to gas them up so they think they're banging. And then it's going to be, how comes you're behind Man United when we've got a PE teacher? How comes you're behind Man United? The rhetoric was, this was the consistent message of the summer. Better manager, better squad, better transfer window. Well, you're going to finish in front of us? Yes. If you finish behind Man United, that in itself is the most embarrassing thing. So, don't fall for it, Dave. You ain't beating Bayern.
It's not happening. Honestly, I could quite easily, I could see Chelsea going 2-0 up in 20 minutes. Everyone be like, oh my God, it's going to happen. And then Zuma kicks it into his own goal. And everyone's that's it.
Dave, has the countdown for Lampard started now? Now that he's getting all these players in.
No. He still gets another free season just because he's Lampard.
I think
For any reason, he gets another season because he's Lampard. Then the clock will start.
That's the other reason that I think that the cycle isn't going to happen this time, because I don't think I don't believe in Lampard. Obviously, I'm a Spurs fan. I'm going to say that, but I don't think Lampard can handle these players. When you're bringing in world-class players, I just don't think he's the man for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but he himself was a world-class player, so it's not like he's going to get lack respect.
He's not a world-class manager, though. He's not a world-class manager.
But he can earn that. He can earn that, though.
Where I disagree, I disagree on that. 8-9. Where I disagree with you on that, and I think you will see Lampard is that really good generation where he's respected him across world football, but he's come out a lot sooner. Interestingly, I'm not saying that Ollie is as good tactically as Lampard. We'll find out over the next head-to-head, definitely. But in terms of over the course of the season, he hasn't proven that yet. But what's interesting with Ollie has the respect of the players, and you've seen that when we've gone through bad patches, they haven't thrown him. What's interesting, the players have more respect for Ollie than they did Jose, which is strange because Jose is a legendary football manager. Maybe it's his attitude towards things. I think that's the thing with these players that are now coming through. There is that element of, Lampard gets it, Gerrard gets it. Any dressing room Gerrard walks into, people are going to be like, oh, that's Steven Gerrard. A bit like Zidane. The only way it falls apart is if your management style isn't good enough on a man management level. And it's interesting because I thought that when Thierry Henry got the opportunity at Monaco, I was really excited to see what he'd do. I felt he went in and was a little bit too authoritarian. You remember the way he looks at that dude when he didn't tuck his chair in?
Apparently there'd be in training sessions and he'd be better than all of them. He'd be like, why aren't you, you're the professionals, what are you doing? And they all just got really annoyed at him and just gave up.
That's where it goes wrong though. So I remember chatting to, my dad was at an after dinner event. My dad does like after dinner speaking and comedy and stuff back in the day. And I was chatting to, I want to say it was Brian Robson. And Brian Robson was basically saying how a lot of great players struggle to become managers because they don't learn to empathize and understand that the vast majority of players cannot ever do what they could. So they'll be in training as an example, and there'll be what they think is a simple pass out to free a fullback on the right. But the player doesn't have the vision or can't pull it off, so he doesn't play it. And Glenn Hoddle was one of the worst for that because Glenn Hoddle was a player. Well, people, again, the younger generation don't know how good certain managers get disrespect. Like Kevin Keegans and Glenn Hoddles are almost like scoffed at.
Mark Hughes.
People don't realize how good they were, but they can't always translate that into the game. And I think that's where so far Lampard's done Lampard's style of management is actually better than his style of football. Funnily enough, Lampard admits it himself, but technically he wasn't the best. He says it. I think when he was criticizing Pogba in a video I saw recently, he says that
Pogba's more talent than me.
That helps. And I think the same with Gerrard. Gerrard was an amazing passer, work rate, he could shoot. But in terms of he wasn't a Pogba on the ball, he wasn't a Xavi on the ball. But that doesn't mean you won't be a great manager. Equally, that's why I love what Zidane has done, because Zidane is almost is a rarity to have been one of the best ever players who's currently a really good manager as well. It really doesn't happen very often in the grand scheme of things. But boys, look, I know we've got loads to speak about, but I've got to shoot because I've got lots more to do today. Chelsea fans, congratulations on your signing of Timo Werner. We're back later on today with some more content for you. We've got a tactics video coming out breaking down why Arsenal got battered.
David Luiz, secret agent, my guy.
It's worse than that, mate. Moths to the light. When we rewatched it this morning, breaking it down, and Arsenal is finished. Listen, everyone, take care of yourselves. God bless, and we'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye-bye.